Okay. Yeah.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah. I mean,
your average Joe couldn't pull that off, is all I'm saying.
no, I'm surprised you didn't drop the camera in the toilet. But welcome, everybody. One and all in one, to another fantastic fucking moment in your life. And why is it a fantastic moment in their life, Ryan?
Because it's episode 57 of the SuperMega Show podcast. That's not the title of it. The podcast is just a descriptor.
Right.
Although it does...
SuperMega Show.
Maybe it's just the SuperMega Podcast.
Why didn't we do that?
Because we're fucking...
I feel like we did toss that idea. We're like, what about the SuperMega Podcast? And it's like, no. We could change it. We're not at episode 100 yet. Welcome to the SuperMega Podcast, everybody.
Just a new logo and everything.
Yeah. So, sorry, Luke, you can cut some of my stammering out, but for SuperMega Cast, if you remember, we always...
The fishing podcast we used to do.
Right. We would start almost every episode with, like, welcome to the SuperMega Podcast, SuperMega Cast, or welcome to the SuperMega Cast or SuperMega Cast. We switched it up.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, dude, it's our show, man. Who gives a flying F about the rules?
We not only make the rules, we fail to enforce them.
We not only set our upload schedule, but we fail to enforce it. Guys, that's what being self-employed at 29 and 30 looks like.
I do, there's no I'm not going to think of a fun little segue. You just got me interested. Before we started recording the podcast, we were talking about something, and you're like, "Oh, I'm going to save it for the podcast." And
the lottery thing.
Yeah, to tee it up, in a mail opening video, which some of you might know, we do from time to time on the channel.
I feel like this is the second one we did, which
might not be out
I don't
yet.
think it's out yet, but it should be. By the time this episode comes out, it should be close to being.
And it was during the recording of a mail episode. We got a bunch of lottery tickets.
A lot of lottery tickets.
I assumed that they were all just kind of like, this is from someone who's an addict that just still has all of their just bulk, and they just sent it because it's like they can't throw it away because they feel like they're hoarders or something.
Right. It's like the sentimental value, like the lottery tickets won't love them anymore if they throw them in the trash. So it's like, if I give it to the YouTubers.
But Matt did some Inspector Gadget inspecting.
Right.
With his gadget.
Come on, man. Don't bring that up.
Okay.
I actually these were Powerball tickets, just to clarify. So you might be like, used lottery tickets.
Not the Mega Millions.
No, these aren't the scratch offs.
Although Powerball is the one of the biggest.
There were some Mega Millions. It was a mix, okay? But it's the type where it's like you pick the numbers and you print it out, and then you have to sit down in your recliner that night in front of the television set, and you got the sexy ass babe fucking taking the little ping pong balls out of the little thing where they spin. Anyway, it was a thick stack of lottery tickets, and I was like, what if, as a prank, we had a viewer who won the lottery and just was like, you know what? I'm going to give it to them. They need more. I have enough. I'm going to bless them with it.
Because sometimes the Powerball can get up to like 200-something million, and that's before taxes, of course.
No, you've seen how big it's gotten bigger than that.
It's like 300 million.
Bigger.
It hasn't ever gotten to a billion,
I'm pretty sure it was at like 1.5 billion at one point.
Good Lord.
Or it crossed a billion at one point. Hold on, clock wipe, because
What's with all these social programs?
I need to double check that. Clock wipe back in. The highest Powerball, the highest jackpot ever, $2 billion.
Is the name recorded, or did they decide that they were going to keep themselves private?
This was in the 90s. This was
oh my God.
This was April 19th, 1992. The odds of winning that jackpot were 292.2 million to 1.
Would that be it might be stupid because a billion's such a big number, maybe the differential isn't that big, but would that be the same thing as like 3 billion today? Like, of course it's worth more in the 90s than it is today. Dude. But like, what would be the equivalent of like, what was $2 billion worth in the 90s at that time, like compared to today?
Let's see.
Just interested. I'm curious. I'm like George in that way, the monkey.
You're much like George in that way. You're a very curious little monkey.
And you're like the man in the yellow hat.
I always thought it was the man in the yellow suit. It's yellow hat though. Does he
Right?
go to the jungle and steal George?
I thought he just found him in the zoo, and like George was in the zoo and was like, I like this guy, and then just started walking around with him. Or did he steal a baby monkey? I really don't know the lore of Curious George.
For some reason,
there was a Will Ferrell movie that I haven't seen that I heard was good. So we should.
Does Will Ferrell play Curious George?
Oh my God! Sorry, I had a That's So Raven moment because I remember thinking of a movie to do an Uncle Sleepover for, and I was like, I really want to do that, and it's gone from my memory completely.
Cool. Well,
Damn it! I should write these stuff. I always go, I'll remember it.
you have a notes app.
I know it's always
Dude,
like
you never.
It's before bed, and I'm like,
You never remember when you say you're gonna remember it.
know.
Not you in specific. I
Oh,
mean,
I remembered it.
What you did? Mm-hmm. What is it?
Okay, it's always
Fuck you.
well,
It's always a surprise.
Well, this one doesn't have to be a surprise. Have you ever seen the movie Disturbia with Shia LaBeouf?
No.
Okay. Well, I want to watch that at some point on Uncle Sleepover.
Okay, I'm super down.
It's a fun romp.
But basically, to answer your question,
These guys on crack? What the fuck are they talking about?
the lottery story. What happened to the lottery ticket thing? What you didn't finish it. $2 billion in 1992, adjusted for inflation, is $4.45 billion.
Ooh, I was gonna guess 4, but I was like,
Double.
I still like in my head. I'm like, $1 billion is so big.
It is.
Would the difference? You know what I mean? Like, be that noticeable?
Yeah. Well, I did actually
But it's that noticeable.
while I was looking up the inflation rate, I did. I clicked on an article about the big winner. Because there was one. Hold on, it's trying to get me to log into this bullshit website. U.S. lottery winner of $2 billion loses entire Los Angeles mansion in devastating wildfires. Never mind. Nothing to laugh at there.
Nope.
But there is like a curse with the lottery.
But if it was like like he lit a fart on fire and burned down his house, that would have been a funny story. A billionaire does that.
That'd be hilarious.
I'm just, it's just unfortunate that he was a victim of the LA fires.
Yeah, it's all.
Well, he wasn't a victim. Well, he is a
Well,
victim.
yes, yeah, I mean,
but he wasn't consumed by the fires himself.
True.
Maybe he was consumed by the fires of rage within him when he found out that his house was burned down. But
yeah, I mean, it probably it would be a shot of his face up close, and in his eyes you would see the flames.
wait, I never thought of it before. But have you ever thought of like if he got so angry and turned into some sort of creature with giant?
Who the $1 billion winner?
Let's just say like if during the California fires, if a Hulk, for example, were to run through the California fires, would it then be endowed with elemental fire damage?
Yeah, most likely.
So a fire Hulk?
It's possible. I don't.
That's probably why they spread so quickly, the fires.
Oh, they spread.
They always say it's the wind, but
the wind is gay, dude.
the weatherman be like.
And the wind today is looking pretty gay.
I don't know what he means by that,
does that
Cheryl.
mean?
It's just.
Is it going to be a good day?
I wish he'd stop goofing around. This is serious stuff.
I'm just playing. It's looking like severe thunderstorms.
Oh, all right.
And softball size hail. But the lottery tickets. Let's get back to that. A big stack of lottery tickets.
Are you sure we could talk about Breaking Bad or a video game
let's talk
we
about
wanna
Breaking
make?
Bad. Lottery tickets. I
went through each
I manually
one by one.
Yes, I brought that stack of lottery
like
tickets.
how the
home.
ants come marching.
They do, one by one. Now you got me thinking of Donald Trump saying that in like a State of the Union speech. The ants come marching one by one. Hoorah! All the Republicans standing up, like cheering.
Hoorah! Hoorah! Dude, I mean, we're not far from that.
No, that's
lottery tickets.
Lottery tickets, guys. And no,
through
we
them
do
one
not
day.
do cocaine, as some of you have speculated. We just genuinely enjoy each other's company, and we're drinking caffeine. Cocaine's bad for you. Don't do it. Unless a really cool person offers it.
Like Jay-Z.
Yes. And
Maybe not Jay-Z, actually.
He's a billionaire, which means he has good cocaine.
Not Jay-Z. Maybe like Chris Pratt.
Chris Brown. Well, Chris Pratt's pretty rich, so he would get good cocaine. He wouldn't get the like shitty cut with baking soda. The lottery tickets, I went through each one by one manually. This was a lot of lottery tickets, and I hope that the viewer that sent those in to our PO box is watching, so they can be giddy with glee at this story. It was a real pain in the ass because it was for 3 separate states. There was Colorado, there was Idaho, and then there was Wyoming. So I had to download 3 separate like lottery apps for these different states.
Well, did they cross state line? Like what?
You know, each state has a different lottery.
No, I know, I get that, but like,
yeah,
one person. Do they have like a Discord set up with like lottery people? Like, everyone send in your tickets.
Sorry, it was 4 states, Montana as well.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
why so spread out?
It's not that spread out. Those states are all right next to each other.
Yeah, but like for one person, like I guess they might travel, like they might do some driving or something for their job. They might do something where they travel kind of locally, but more throughout like the 4-state quadrant.
It could be, honestly, like that could be a fucking multi-state serial killer, and they're like, this will be so funny. I'm gonna send all my evidence
it out on the podcast.
Yeah. Like,
why is that the end of this story? You figured out that it's a serial killer?
I'm just gonna get contacted by the FBI. Like, we need those tickets.
And I waited to turn them in live on the podcast.
FBI agent walks in. Here you go. But I went through all of them.
I want to know your findings.
One by one. It was a big pain in the ass. I had to type the numbers in individually for each ticket.
Seems like you're stalling. Are there any findings?
There was one. There's one ticket amongst the batch. And I believe it was an Idaho ticket. Okay? Most of the tickets were Colorado. But there were a few Idaho. There's an Idaho ticket that I checked online.
Okay.
And you know what it said? It said, unlike all the other ones, it said this one might be a grand winner. Contact state, local, whatever, to see. And I have not contacted them.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I set it aside.
For us to do on the podcast?
Maybe. I don't have it with me today.
What?
I didn't.
You decided to tell the story now.
Yeah, I didn't know I was going to tell the story. But
so it could be a grand winner,
dude.
But don't you have a specific time of when you can?
No, you can claim it up to a certain period, but these
where how long are these? How
they
old
were
are
all
these?
from within the last like 4 years.
It could be past the day.
If I'm not mistaken, this was 2021.
How long did I thought it was like a year or like some months where it's like you have the amount, like it might be past.
I'm also.
And did we get these in 2021? Like, did we receive this package and we just didn't open it up? It's one of those packages, or did it just recently get sent?
I don't know. Also, I'm never ever in my life trusting ChatGPT again, because some of them, basically, for the mega. One of the Colorado ones, one of the Montana ones, they only announce for a year. So I asked, I'm like, from this year, was this a winner? And ChatGPT said, yes, this exact ticket was the grand prize winner of however many $100 million. And I was like, sitting there and like actually in shock for a second. And I was like, looking at the ticket, and I'm like, this has got to be some kind of prank. And I found the Montana Lottery's website. No, and I went on. I said to ChatGPT, I said, why did you lie to me?
But this Idaho one
might be a winner. We're gonna have to find out. I set it aside, like I said.
It said it could be a grand prize winner.
Yeah, which is weird because all the other ones automatically said no.
How long? I'm gonna be like. How long
is my penis?
Do lottery tickets?
Idaho. Like, how long do you have to claim the prize? Right?
180 days.
Fuck.
Idaho lottery players have 180 days from the draw date for all draw games and 180 days from the official end of the game for scratch games to claim their prize.
Well, I don't even want to like double check now, Because if I do find out, even if it's like not a grand prize winner, even if it's for like $1,000, I mean that's still, it's good money.
Something.
So it's like, yeah, I would love to have just
we
a
could
free
have bought another
$1,000.
PlayStation 5.
I know, or 2 Nintendo Switch 2s.
Which, let's talk to the ad reads. Welcome back. If we had ads,
We'll see. We have not renewed our contract. Just saying.
The Nintendo Switch 2 was just announced at a Nintendo Direct, and Matt and I are big Nintendo heads. Well,
we're big Nintendogs, bro.
Yeah.
DAWGS.
We both did play Nintendogs on the Nintendo DS when it came out at the time, and tried to play it for the channel.
Which we failed because we needed a microphone.
Yeah, the voice recognition. We had a microphone, but it just wasn't working.
We just didn't know how to hook it up to the fucking...
It was recognizing it, but it wasn't working correctly. Regardless, new Nintendo Direct, and might I say, they got my jimmies wet and wild.
Rustled?
Oh my God.
Did they rustle your jimmies?
Oh yeah.
Hey, I have seen nothing from this Nintendo Direct, by the
What?
way. You know me, I'm a big Nintendo fanboy. I've seen absolutely nothing from this Nintendo Direct.
See, this is where it would be great to where if we had that monitor up there, I could be like, let's look it up real quick, and then we'd watch it. Luke would put it in the corner. You know the thing that we said we'd do in the first episode and haven't done?
Since the first episode?
Yeah.
We did it in the first episode.
Yeah.
Show it, like, Luke, just put a picture, like a screenshot from that, so
Yeah.
that the video watchers
You can even
see.
just press print screen, paste it into Photoshop if you want, even, Luke.
Or, Luke, actually, alternatively, just print it out on a piece of paper and then scan it and then go ahead and show that screenshot.
There's no way he's doing that.
It's on screen right now, so he did.
Is it?
It is. Anyway, I know nothing, Jon Snow, about the Nintendo Switch 2 or anything from the Direct.
For me, there's...
So you got to be the bearer of good news.
Well, I woke up to a slew of texts from friends being like, "Have you seen this? Have you seen that? Have you seen this?"
None.
I'll get some friends, buddy.
I had one DM from the Austin Powers impersonator.
It wasn't about that.
It was not about the Nintendo Direct.
Did you see the new Donkey Kong? No,
it wasn't.
Well, for me, a lot was announced. They did announce a Kirby Air Ride sequel, Air Rider sequel.
Okay. That's a fun game.
FromSoft is doing a Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive.
Really?
Where it's like I'm not too excited about it right now. I want to I want to see more about it. It's a PvE game.
Okay. Interesting.
It's like kind of vampire-esque. It kind of looks similar to the style of Bloodborne in a way, in terms of art style. But I'm not like too. But the two big things that I'm super excited about from this, and I can try to go through a list and we can see, because there's a bunch of other stuff, is finally, after so long, I want to say it's been over a decade at this point, we finally have a mainline Donkey Kong game, and not just that, it's a 3D Donkey Kong game.
What was the last one? Tropical Freeze?
I want to say it was Tropical Freeze.
I think. Well,
was that like 2013?
I don't count the Donkey Kong Country Return remaster. Whatever.
No.
It's but I think Tropical Freeze was the most recent, because that was for the Wii U,
and it was really good.
I never played it.
It's thebomb.com, my brother.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Nintendo secured that.
Mm-hmm.
That's an expensive domain name.
I know, it's crazy.
But all I saw was the thumbnail for the announcement of that, and I saw that it's the new Donkey Kong design.
Yeah, he's wearing overalls, kind of.
The eyes are different.
Part of me, I hope that, like Mario Odyssey, you can put on different outfits, hopefully, and they have maybe if you collect all of the banana collectibles, you unlock classic DK.
Ooh.
If they need to throw in the classic DK style as a homage or something.
So it's not like a platformer in the sense of Donkey Kong Country. It's like a 3D platformer like DK64.
Kind of, or like Odyssey. It looks like there's a lot of destructible environments. The main thing you're doing a lot of the time, it looks like you're punching and ripping shit from the ground to do stuff.
I'll have to play that.
It looks like there are side-scrolling levels to kind of harken back to the good old days. And they have references like minecarts and stuff. I'll be interested to see how big the game ends up being, or if it's more of just kind of here's something to shut you guys up. Here's a quick little Donkey Kong game. I think it's going to be worth $80 because all these games now are going to be worth $80.
That is nuts.
And the Nintendo Switch is going to be $500.
Wow.
But the second game that's super exciting. Hold on. Sorry, I had so many bubbles in my stomach, Matthew. I had so many bubbles.
Are they all gone?
I think so. Well, the second thing that was, what was? Oh my God!
Swave for the Switch.
Oh yes, was the fucking Mario Kart World, which is the one that I'm probably tied with excitement, if not a little more excited than the Donkey Kong.
So a
game.
new Mario Kart game.
Yes,
Finally.
and it looks amazing. There's different outfits for characters.
Yes, dude. I've been waiting for it's like just like more customization.
But from what it looks like, I don't know yet. Hopefully they allow you to choose the outfits in races like before the race starts. But I only saw a snippet of gameplay, but from the gameplay it looked like you pick up the outfits on the track.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. So maybe, but the thing is, it kind of works where all these tracks are in a way connected, so you can like go and drive around the world, quote unquote, in a sense. So I'm wondering if there are collectibles like outfits in the world you can pick up to then customize yourself in the big races and all that.
That's interesting.
There's boats and shit too.
Boats?
Yeah, you know it's the
I knew
same
that,
thing.
I knew they would add boats, dude.
And it looks so pretty, dude.
I swear that in a Mario Kart Let's Play we've talked about it's like, oh, they have to add boats. It's the next logical thing.
Because Diddy Kong Racing had kind of boats. They had like the fan boats, whatever those are called, the like Florida Gator boats.
Dude, I love that type of boat.
I think we're gonna get to have it in Grand Theft Auto, which is apparently still releasing this year at some point. Their marketing guy.
I thought it said 2026.
Their marketing guy did a no. They were adamant. No, we still plan for a 2025 end of year release or whatever.
And if they doubled down on that, then that means they must be pretty confident.
Well, their marketing guy, they did a marketing guy or director, someone that is with the game, did an interview, and he was kind of like, he's a little smug. He's like, you know, we found that if we save all of our marketing for closer to release, it ends up, you know, paying off well or something like that. So it's like, oh, so you're really just gonna do like a hard drop of like in a month it's coming out type of thing, or
like
maybe
that type of
next
rollout.
week. I'm excited because we all know it's coming out, but while it's exciting for the consumer, imagine all the other game studios that have big releases that are coming out this year that are just like, fuck.
They probably know.
They know, but like
when it's coming out.
But they don't have as much of the. Rockstar has a big dick to swing around the place and
old dick.
Not feel too bad about it. All these other game studios, while they do have a massive audience and they are successful, they still need to watch out for Rockstar walking into the locker room.
I was about to say, it's like a locker room, and you've got these other studios, and you know, like they've got sizable penises.
They got average penises.
Yeah.
It's like they're nice penises.
Right, and you know, some of them probably even kind of just slap it around a little before they enter the locker room so it looks big or soft. But when Rockstar walks in,
it's like, is he hard? No, he's not.
Are you sure?
What? That's soft?
Dude, there's no way.
He's like soft. He's like baby
He's
soft.
baby soft.
Not sure. Not sure we should. No, not sure we. You know, it's soft.
I mean, let that make the point. And Rockstar's words, not ours. So,
I like as soon as like we were like, wait, we can't.
We both had the realization at the same time.
We can't use that. What is it? An idiom? We can't use that fucking saying whatever.
But basically, like, I do like rollouts that. I've thought about this. I like rollouts that are concentrated because when you announce something,
like Vietnam.
Yeah. You know, I liked Vietnam was something that, you know, they announced way in advance and, you know, the hype kind of died down. But like Iraqi freedom, for example, that was like the American people didn't know until George Bush went on TV and the bombs were already dropping. He's like, as I speak, we're blowing them up.
Are they the ones that attacked us?
No. Well, yes.
They gave us a reason to.
Like Bush, like looking over to the side, like, right,
we won.
Right.
That famous.
Oh, the "we won" speech on the boat.
Yeah, yeah.
Victory.
Oh, love it. I mean, it was a victory.
Well, Iraqi freedom. They've never been more free. Same with Afghanistan. But anyway,
we're talking about the rollout of.
Yeah. I personally have come to realize that I like concentrated rollouts a lot more, because if you announce something very far in advance, I'll get excited about, put that leg down. I'll get excited, but you get used to the, it's been announced. It's so far away. However,
you can store it in a chest in your mind.
Right. And then later you're like, oh yeah, I remember that. However, a good example of this type of rollout is Tyler the Creator. Let a white boy speak on Tyler the Creator for a second.
Let's make some space for a white boy talking about Tyler the Creator. I think we can all do this.
If I still had blonde hair, he might have gay sex with me.
Yeah.
So I think I can speak on this. His rollouts for his albums, at least the last two, like it was, everyone's like, well, when's Tyler gonna make a new album? And then all of a sudden there's just like these like mystery billboards that go up and
little clips on YouTube.
Yeah, and within a week it's out. So it's like the hype builds really fast, and then by the time the album drops, the hype is still huge. So I really like that type of rollout, and I guess that's probably what Rockstar is kind of trying to go for too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they've already announced it, but it's like,
well, I remember there was it kind of goes back to, I mean, it, think what you want about it, but Bethesda back in the day, after Fallout 3's success and Fallout New Vegas, that was a different studio, but after Fallout 3, they announced Fallout 4 at E3.
Right.
And they were like, it's coming this November. And people were like, it's 3-4 months away? That's insane. And that built a lot of hype. And unfortunately, that game did not turn out to be great. I have a lot more faith.
Did it come out that November, though?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I have a lot more faith in Rockstar to deliver on their promises, because I don't think I have played a game where I have been disappointed. I have played like Grand Theft Auto 5. I haven't been into it as much as like Grand Theft Auto. I was into Grand Theft Auto 4 or Red Dead Redemption 2, or much less the last Red Dead. But Rockstar never misses, or hasn't missed in quite a while.
That's right.
I'm excited. And if there's co-op, you and I could play together.
Dude,
I could be your juicy little Latina bae. We could rob stores together.
Are you calling that character already?
I mean, we can talk about this. We can write up a contract, maybe.
Okay.
Discuss like
have the
cooperative
lawyer
play. I mean, we still don't know. We don't even know if we can cooperatively play together. I would only assume that like it would be actually pretty cool if you could cooperatively play, because it's the whole dynamic of a duo bank robbing, the Bonnie and Clyde. I couldn't picture a more perfect.
However, when people traditionally think of SuperMega, am I going to be like the macho dude, or am I going to be the like Latina babe?
You're probably going to be the juicy
Latinx babe. Bae. Right, that's right.
And I'll be the scruffy white gator man with the backwards hat.
Yeah, you will.
I'll be I don't know. I'll be Gator Zaddy, dude.
Dude, I haven't thought of the word zaddy in like.
What is the Z for?
There was just that period where like
it's just
there was these like, remember zīomg?
No.
What?
Yeah. Oh yes.
It was like Invader Zim type bullshit. Like the.
It's a good show.
Well, like the girl
Hold on. It's a good show.
I'm not saying anything about the show, but I'm saying like the one girl that would be in your grade that would have like the Invader Zim hoodie that she never washes.
She'd always have the Gru hoodie up and maybe do the Gru voice.
Well,
what's his name? Is that the dog, the robot? What's the robot's name?
I thought you were making a Minions reference here.
No, what's the little... I don't know why I called him that. I know Zim. What's Zim's sidekick's name?
Dog, I think. But, yeah, that'd be the type that would use. Grr. I like that.
I don't know. But you can see where Gru came into play in my brain. It was a humble accident.
And it shan't happen again.
Not a brash accident.
No.
Humble.
You didn't do it with brashness.
I needn't do it with brashness.
Where did we fucking go wrong with the English language? Because it used to
be fun.
That was awesome.
Like talking was a game in of itself. It's
right?
like to try to communicate with someone. You're like,
you're standing there, listening to them talk, and you're just
your
like
brain.
smiling, like, I think I know.
Dost now want to go out? It's like fuck. It's like you're ping-ponging, trying to figure out how to end a sentence.
I think he just brought his wife up. I'm not sure.
I mean, granted,
She's pregnant, or
maybe
she's
back
sick?
in the day, they were used to that jargon. Wouldn't make sense to us.
Apparently,
we'd be going, what are you talking about?
I'd say, in English, please. Actually, Shakespeare, they didn't talk like that. Apparently, that was just how he decided to write.
They actually talked, the historians say, in guttural noises,
like grunts.
They mostly use the back of their throats to enunciate things.
Yeah, a lot of glottal stops, a lot of that. It was
but history is written by the victors,
right? And Shakespeare, being one of those, well, he's William, but
Bill.
He just wrote.
My friends call me Bill.
He just wrote silly. So they didn't speak like that. However, they did speak differently. Like we would, if you and I Bill and Tedded that shit and went back to like the 1600s, we'd be like, "What the fuck is anyone saying?"
If you and I were to Bill and Ted something, in what places in time could we go to where we could kind of guarantee, like, what are the safest points in history? Luckily,
guarantee our safety, or guarantee like that we could understand what they're saying?
Safety.
Oh,
safety first, where we won't be burned at the stake for being witches or something.
Really?
I will say there is a large stint at least in the United States, that we have to work with.
Yes,
White's had
It had a golden era.
I think that's like my favorite part about Men in Black 3 is that when they go back in time, Will Smith has to deal with like all the like kind of like racism that's going on.
I saw that movie at a movie theater on Marco Island, Florida. Fun fact.
Rubio has an island?
Mm-hmm. I don't think that there's honestly too many times where we could go back and be safe. Besides like the last 200 years.
I mean, we could go...
Well, now it's not safe for us white men now, but...
I know.
If we could go back maybe to,
Not with this lame stream media.
Some woke mind virus,
I fucking hate Elon Musk.
Even if we went back to, like... Because I'm thinking, like, if we go back to prehistoric time, like, we wouldn't be able to breathe. And also, we would get...
Because we'd be running from dinosaurs.
So fast. We wouldn't be able to...
We'd be scared out of our wits.
Honestly, though... Okay, so we wouldn't have been able to breathe, I'm pretty sure, because the... oxygen levels were so different. Like that's why everything was so big. But like if we went back then, we'd be gasping for breath. There's other periods where it's like so much CO2.
Does it not mean that there would be more oxygen in the air for us to be able to breathe?
It does mean there'd be more oxygen, but that's not what when you hyperventilate, you pass out. It's too much oxygen.
Oh.
Also, like 79% of the air we breathe is nitrogen. Do you know that? It's not even oxygen. I don't know where this fucking lie came from.
But we're producing carbon dioxide.
Yeah, we convert the oxygen into carbon dioxide. But we mostly breathe nitrogen.
And we produce methane.
We do. Your body produces a lot of fucking chemicals.
Methane's warm too.
Yeah, it is.
Stinks.
Does your body produce propane to any degree?
If you have the valve, if you have it to the left for loose.
Okay, I haven't.
If it's right for tight, then nothing's going to be coming out.
Okay, I'll look into that.
Yeah.
But I if we went back to, let's just say theoretically, you and I could breathe large amounts of oxygen and be all right.
We had time travel suits.
Okay, yeah, we have time travel suits. Drop you and I into the middle of, anywhere, okay? And 60 million years ago. Like, how long do you give us? I'm dying first. Well, actually, I don't know.
It depends on, like, because everything, like, there's so much out there that's, like, just the moment it sees us, it's like food. Like, we're done. Like a T-Rex, I'd be struck with fear. I wouldn't be able to run from anything. I'd just probably be like, I'm dead. I'm dying.
Would a T-Rex go after us, you think?
Probably.
Or do you think that's more of like a movie thing, and if it saw us, it would just be like, I'm not going to bother with that. That's not my typical diet. Like, I wonder.
I guess we've never sent humans back in time that we know of. Just want to say that. DOGE hasn't uncovered it yet, but they promise they're going to uncover the time travel secrets of the United States government.
We've sent little X back 60 million years. It's going to bring back the secrets. Honestly, I don't think we'd last too long. Like, I mean, food is one thing. We'd have to figure that out. Also, like, almost everything, like all the animals would be different, and all the plants would be different.
Well, I guess we're going there as tourists. Then would we still be able to have a good time for a couple hours? Like we go there for like 2 hours. I still think.
Would you go
to the dinosaur times?
No. Here's the thing. Legitimately, if you were offered. And it was just like, okay, your safety is not guaranteed, but
and this isn't like they're gonna steal my kidney type of shit.
No,
this is real deal.
This is real. It's like
real sci-fi shit,
real life shit. If they said, Ryan, we can send you and a friend of Mr. Ryan,
yes,
we can send you and a friend of your choosing back 60 million years. I'm sorry, 60 million years. The asteroid already hit. Let's go back like 100 million years.
Okay.
100 million years.
Right on.
And you could take a friend of your choosing for 2 hours.
Albert Einstein. We can pick him up on the way to the dinosaurs.
It doesn't work that way. It's like a direct, like time. It like bends time just straight to the past. It doesn't go. It doesn't just go through Albert Einstein's time.
Well, we could project it so through that loop we go through the Albert Einstein area to the dinosaurs.
Turns out Albert Einstein was just some like Indian kid, and pulling him through that just like drastically altered his DNA and made him this like super genius white guy. Anyway, for 2 hours, no safety guaranteed. They drop you, and it's like going on a hike. They'll give you a weapon. Not that it'll do much, maybe, but
I get bear spray.
You get bear spray, okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure back then, like, the closest thing to bears were probably like 3 times the size. You know? Like, and could run like 3 times faster.
Have you seen?
It'd be a big can of bear spray.
Have you seen? There's videos of bears charging through bullets, essentially.
Oh yeah, if an animal's
adrenaline.
big enough, you know, the bullet's not going to do much
Cave
unless
bears are horrifying.
Unless you pop, you know.
I have it up at the not the Smithsonian. That's in D.C. It's the La Brea Tar Pit Museum.
I still have not been to the La Brea Tar Pits, and I've lived in L.A. for almost a decade.
Maybe we can take a little trip, bring some cameras.
To throw in the tar?
No, to film a vlog or something. I would love to take a day to go to the La Brea Tar Pits and like film a vlog.
That's the closest thing to going back 100 million years. You know, my mom saw Jeffrey Tambor there.
You know, my mom saw Jeffrey Dahmer on the television in the 90s.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's very fascinating. Would you go back, though, for 2 hours?
To the 90s?
No, to 100 million years ago. Like, you get that chance. Your safety is not guaranteed.
I think I'd chicken out. I just
1 hour.
And I got to go with you?
If that's the friend of your choosing, I'm just saying. I mean, it's a sweepstakes. You could choose any friend you want, but I would.
It'd be hard not to because
right?
It's like, well, at this...
What an experience.
What an experience, but also... We don't need to get into the whole like intricacies of it, right? Like I don't need to be thinking, oh, if this exists in this time, then it's not this rare thing. Then a lot of people have done it, so it's not this big thing. In this world, like we're just going straight off. This would be like I'm the only person that gets to do this, essentially.
And a friend of your choosing.
And a friend of my choosing,
yes.
Of course. I don't want to forget about
like
them.
It's not like scientists are going there all the time. It's like this is the one and only time that it gets to happen. And they go, we ran a lottery system. And yep,
full circle.
Ryan McGee, Mr. Ryan McGee from California, and he gets to bring one friend of his choosing. And you guys get suits so you can breathe, and also you get guns. Bear spray? Okay, bear spray. You get bear spray.
Oh, yeah.
I think a gun would be more useful.
I mean...
I don't know. You could probably spray a fucking like
if that shit gets in
with it.
The eyes of something, they're going to be furious. They can't see even. They're gonna.
It's not just bears that it affects. Like a velociraptor is running at you. Spray it. It's gonna fucking hurt. You know.
I mean, maybe a bullet like the sound would make them.
They'd run. They would run.
The sound and the stinging would be like, something bit me.
Honestly, I think like a shotgun would be pretty good because even though close range, you might not have enough time to defend yourself. Firing a shotgun off would make them scram.
How about this? You get the shotgun. I'll get like the SMG with a backpack full of magazines, so I can spray.
Okay.
I go, you know, if I get scared, and you line up a really good headshot.
No, I'll just shoot it up in the air to try to scare them off.
No, well, I think that we're talking about dinosaurs, buddy. These are
I only get 2
creatures.
shots before I have to fucking manually reload
These aren't
it.
dodo birds. Dinosaurs.
Well, there might be dodo birds.
There might be dodo. No, I don't think dodo.
Now, would you stay a full day if you got to choose where you get to go back?
Like in time?
Like,
would I stay? What do you mean?
No. Okay, so it's 1 hour dropped in a random spot, picked out of maybe 10 different places.
Yeah.
None of them are necessarily
Safe.
safer than the other. Or you can pick a spot of your choosing on Earth and stay for 24 hours with a friend of your choosing.
Anytime, any place on Earth for 24 hours.
No, it's still 100 million years ago, and
Oh.
and you can't pick the North Pole. It's there has to be some level of danger.
I wouldn't stay 24 hours back in the... No way, no how. An hour, yes. 24 hours, we'd die. There's no way we'd survive. Everything wants to kill us.
No, we'd climb a tree.
Dude, the bugs are the size of our legs.
Brother, Katniss survived how long in the Hunger Games?
3 days?
Yeah. How much more is 3 days than 1?
Yeah, but there were no dinosaurs in the Hunger Games.
They
Now, in the third book, there were these lizard-human hybrid things in the sewers that can...
That's right.
Honestly, when I was reading the third book, I feel like she lost me completely.
She lost the plot a little bit?
She didn't know how to accurately describe the things that she wanted to portray, and it just felt like a bunch of throw-up. The third book literally was just reading, I don't know. I couldn't visualize what was going on too well.
Well, the third book's supposed to be about Civil War revolution, overthrowing the, bourgeoisie.
And sometimes you have to sneak through the sewers and fight the white lizard people.
Right. It's kind of like she was I could just, make this kind of run-of-the-mill, revolution stuff, but, I really want to put these white lizard people in somewhere, and I didn't get a chance to do it yet, so...
I think they're probably
They're hybrids built by the Capitol
yeah, of course.
protect the...
Well, just like how in the first Hunger Games, the dog hybrid creature things are actually used from the past tributes. It shows that even after death, they don't actually get to die. They're still used by the Capitol. Blah de blah. I still thought a lot of it was goofy in the third book when I was reading it at the time in high school.
I didn't read the third book.
I loved 1 and 2.
Me too.
And then the third one came. I was like,
I read the third movie. I think it's got some. I've rewatched all of them within the last year or two, and it's they're good. They're fun. The first Hunger Games movie, though, I will say the camera work is horrible. It's so bad.
It's
everything is zoomed in and just it's they're just trying to shake it as much as they can.
Because I feel like that's definitely the director. I don't particularly I think his name's Gary Ross as a director. He did Seabiscuit starring Tobey Maguire. That was his defining movie before the studio decided to give him the start. A lot of people, they got Christopher Columbus to lead a children's franchise because he did Home Alone.
Yeah. Again, that is the director of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Home Alone. Not to be Okay, no, you're... Chris Columbus.
Chris Columbus.
Not Christopher.
Is his full name Christopher?
His full name is Christopher Columbus. But
am I wrong here?
When you say Christopher Columbus led a group of children...
I'm giving him the respect. I'm saying his full name.
Okay.
William.
Right.
Will.i.am.
Took me a very long time to realize. I'm oh, it's William and it's Will.i.am. Continue.
What was I saying? What were we talking about?
Gary Ross.
Oh, Gary. I think his name's Gary Ross. But yeah, I don't like how it's just a lot of shaky handhold, kind of a faux Paul Greengrass. Paul Greengrass being the one to direct the Bourne series as well as
Captain Phillips.
Yes, sir.
And United 93.
Yes,
and most recently, that one I didn't watch.
What did he direct that we didn't watch?
I looked this up when I was in Korea, actually. I was looking up Paul Greengrass movies when I was in Seoul because I was contemplating watching United 93. in the hotel room. I didn't, unfortunately.
I don't want to spoil the ending, but it's good.
It is, yeah. My girlfriend hadn't seen it. She didn't know what United 93 was, and she's like, I told her
93 people on this plane.
I told her about the premise, and she really wanted to watch it, and we were flying back home the next day, and I was like, I'm gonna be real. I don't think you're gonna have a good time if we watch United 93 the night before we have to take a 11-hour flight.
And
we didn't watch it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's like the whole movie, not United 93, but Hunger Games, the first one. It's like he didn't realize that like he could. It's like the camera when he turned it on was already like zoomed in, and he didn't realize that.
It feels like they're using a telephoto lens for
every shot.
Even conversational. You don't in the first, and it's not intentional because a lot of people will say that it's to promote this claustrophobic anxiety feeling of like you're never getting a chance to breathe because everything's so close up, blah, blah, blah,
He's
blah.
like doing an interview like, yeah.
I think it's sloppy, and I think it's kind of like a cheap way to try to attribute style to the film.
You also don't have to, really frame a full shot as much as you would have to if you zoom in.
Dude,
I'm not calling him lazy, I'm just saying.
Dude, throughout the first movie, like watching it, like I just get this feeling of like this, just this kind of I get frustrated because I'm like, cut to a wide of the conversation. Just let it breathe.
Dude,
let the shot breathe.
It's like this close up on their face.
Dude, at all times. It's always close up on a motherfucker.
And then God forbid a fight scene begin because I don't know what's going on. I'm like, all right, the next 2 minutes, I'm just going to, like, I'm assuming they're getting hurt.
Catching Fire did a better...
Yes.
It's like instantly they're like, we're keeping it still and we're using a lot of wide shots and establishing shots.
Yes, and you can tell immediately. It's kind of like from the first Twilight movie to the second. It's like a huge upgrade in quality immediately.
Oh, God, yeah.
No, I'm serious.
No.
You've seen it. You know.
It's like the pilot episode of The Office versus the rest of season 1.
I'm not talking about quality in terms of the story or acting. I'm talking about they have a bigger budget for cameras and lights.
It's unlike what they did with The Walking Dead season 2, because The Walking Dead season 1 was so successful, they got a bigger budget, but then they were like, make double the episodes for half the budget so we can make more money.
It's also the one thing about The Walking Dead that even over a decade ago fucking got me, like
Frank Darabont directing, director of The Green Mile.
Yep. I'm scared, boss. Literally
in Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, he did Green Mile and Shawshank?
I think.
That makes sense. That tracks. They're
Luke's
similar.
going to correct me on screen if I'm wrong.
Actually, he did the Green Mile and Big Hero 6. But... Fuck, what was I saying? Please remind me.
Boss.
Oh, no, but before I started doing a John Coffey impression.
We were talking about you were talking about how you started eating cats and dogs.
Shut up, dude. I was talking about Twilight, and then it went from Twilight to
the budget got bigger for these movies.
Oh, Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead.
People listening going, "Oh, thank God. Oh, my God." It's got to be honestly really frustrating to listen to this show and one of us brings something up and then we just never again.
You know, Matt, the title of the show isn't talking about the zombies. The title of the show is talking about the humans that are still alive. They're the Walking Dead because
that's a big spoiler. It's a really big spoiler.
Just saying. Did you also know that in Alien they had to digitally remove some bush?
Mm-hmm. From Danny McBride.
Oh. I wish.
He just wouldn't shave. I'm not fucking shaving. But The Walking Dead, the one thing that they could not get right, and it looked cheesy even 10, 11 years ago, was the blood from like when they would shoot someone in the head.
CG blood.
It was the CG blood, but the big thing that got, because it was like, I wish they had filmed their own takes, because here's the problem. The show was a certain frame rate. What television is, 29 point something? The blood, if you go back and watch it, the blood effects are a different frame rate from the show itself. So if you were to go frame by frame, the show would be moving consistently, but the blood would like hold the same frame for 2 and then for 3 and then for 1 and then for we've dealt with this in Premiere before. If you put like an effect in that doesn't match the frame rate, it looks off. That is it also just looks really fake.
I will say it's unfortunate because Greg Nicotero, who does all of the zombie makeup work, all of the practical work for the show, at least he did for the seasons that we watched.
Incredible.
All of that's really good.
It's really incredible.
Like even in the first episode, that like half zombie thing that's crawling around, that's practical. All the work that they did is awesome. So it's such a weird kind of choice to just be like, just instead of squibs, or let's just cheap out on.
Just go on YouTube, search green screen blood squirt, and then
it literally looks like they did that. Like no joke.
I don't know. It's like they go to one of those YouTube download websites, get a bunch of viruses, download it in 480p, and then call it a day. It's like,
we're done.
Yeah, I mean it's blood. I mean, see it squirt.
People are watching this on TV. They're far away from it. I guess
TV screens they're not big yet. So well, speaking of Danny McBride, I've been watching Eastbound and Down.
Ooh.
I've never seen it before. Well, I watched when I was in high school.
Kenny Powers?
Yeah. When I was in high school, my sister was like, "You gotta watch this." It's before her voice changed. And
puberty did her wonders.
Yes. She I watched a little bit. I don't remember it, but I've started really watching for the first time, and I just finished the second season. Have you seen it?
No. I've seen clips.
It's really
good.
But
I've never watched it. I was too young for it when it was out.
Yeah, it was 2009.
Was it HBO or what was it?
HBO, yeah. There's titties.
We didn't have HBO.
Back then, HBO was like you had to be rich or you were in a hotel room.
Dude, only my rich friends had HBO.
Same.
No one else had HBO except for like the upper middle class to upper class people that I knew.
HBO was a rich man's thing,
and
or
now,
a porn addict thing.
Now it's that is true because
maybe if you're like a gooner back in the day.
Skinamax, all that shit.
Skinamax. R.I.P. to Skinamax.
I'm sure they still have that form. Like you can still, flip through a guide and find like some title.
I mean, on cable TV, still to this day, if you open the guide and you scroll down far enough into like the hundreds, you'll see the porn channels. You gotta pay extra for them. Fucking capitalism.
I'm glad you know that.
I do know that. Remember, dude, when we were hanging out in Charlotte?
Oh my God, we
took a fan to Hooters and then we went to his friend's garage.
The fan was a food delivery driver who then decided to just bail on the food delivery because we were eating at Hooters and he was getting food delivery from Hooters. He decided to bail on that food delivery
when he saw us,
drive us to a gas station so I could get like cigarettes and some.
I got a twisted tea,
drinks, and then he offered to smoke us up. Took us back to his
friend's house,
his friend's house, or like I guess the group house that they were all kind of like pitching in. It was in like a suburban kind of.
It was like on the outskirts of wherever we were in North Carolina.
But it felt like a white picket fence type.
Dude, it was awesome. That was one of the best nights of my life. I'm not kidding.
Watching porn in an open garage, smoking weed in a state like they had balls. We were smoking weed in a garage in North Carolina.
Very illegal.
Like
the garage door fully open.
Just in a suburban neighborhood.
It's like, dude, you got the threat from the cops, but you also got the threat from mom and dad. Mm-hmm. So I guess mom and dad were cool with it. But it was a wonderful
federal trouble, my brother.
Yeah, but that was one of the best nights of my life. We filmed the whole thing, and it's still to this day I cannot believe that night actually happened. It's on the channel.
Feels like a movie.
Yeah,
and it was. We edited into one essentially.
We took a fan to Hooters. Look that up if you haven't seen it.
It's one of our best.
I couldn't believe how it unfolded. We left our hotel. We were just gonna walk to Hooters.
It was originally just going to be a Hooters vlog,
and it's like let's film ourselves at Hooters.
We were filming the very end where you see the fan coming up. We were filming the very end of the Hooters vlog.
We're walking out and go, Matt Ryan, and we're like, oh, what's up, man? And
the rest is history.
That was truly one of the best nights of my life. Hanging out with all those
SuperMega story. Christory has a good ring to it. I'm trying to find our own version of it.
It was a matter of fact.
Okay.
But hanging out with all those nice young Latinx boys smoking weed and watching porn was awesome. Sipping Grey Goose out the bottle.
Sipping Grey Goose out the bottle. Thinking about tomorrow, singing Sweet Home North Carolina
all
summer long.
And then, well, you don't Don't forget the best part.
We were trying different things. We
Does
were
that mean, like,
smoking funny things.
He was like hooking up with dudes. Like Kid Rock singing about like, I was bi-curious, was trying different things.
They were taking turns sticking hotel pens into each other's buttholes.
And
this feels weird.
Let's try some docking. That's what he meant.
Ooh, like a spaceship docking onto the International Space Station. It even visually looks kind of.
That's why they call it docking for the space station, because it's reminiscent of the penises. But yeah, Carlo
Esposito.
I believe his name was Carlo. The fan from that night. I follow him on Instagram. Really nice guy. I hope he's still watching. I hope he's doing well. Because after we finished smoking weed with those young gentlemen, he had to drive us back to the hotel.
He drove us back to Hooters.
Well, yeah, Hooters was on the way to the hotel, and we're like, hey, what if we stopped at Hooters again? And for the second time one night, we stopped. We got some drinks. And some
the order was still
the
there.
order was still sitting there that he was supposed to pick up hours ago, and they didn't know that he was the driver. And we were talking to the fine ladies at Hooters.
And they were closing at this time.
Yeah, and they were just like, y'all want some free food? Look, this never got picked up.
We're like, okay.
And he's like, what's the name on it? And it was his.
Yep.
And Ryan and I took that bag of food back to our hotel. We ate it.
It's all in the vlog. We both can't recommend to watch it if you haven't, or maybe if you have, just go reminisce. Maybe you forgot just how wacky and crazy those super mega boys got in North Carolina.
They really lost the light.
I'm gonna let it shine,
let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. But Eastbound and Down is really good.
Okay. You know what else is really good?
Is it the end of the podcast?
Well, no, that's always very sad. I was going to say what's very good is the amount of support that we get from the megheads, the super mega fans, the fans of what we do.
You guys are so freaking awesome.
Sweet.
And sweet. I want to make sure that we clarify both of those, because if you happen to be a visual watcher, sorry, audio listeners and blind people, if you look on screen right now, there are two lists of names scrolling. These lists, these contain the names of every employee at DOGE. The ones in green are lower tier employees, but the ones that have
they sent an email and they got this, the ones that are green are the ones that are good, and the other ones on the list are the ones that are being fired from DOGE.
The ones with the emojis next to them?
Yeah.
But that looks nicer though.
Look, it's just it's part of them cleaning house. That's what.
Well, Elon's never been a designer,
Yeah.
So I guess
just
might have been a mistake.
Let the genius work. He's like Mozart painting a picture.
Right. But yeah, if
I should have said Beethoven, that would have hit better.
No, Mozart was great.
Okay.
Because it actually threw me off for a second. I was like, he's a pan. No, he's not a pan. But these people, thank you guys for the support. You can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/supermega. It's in the description and at the end screen. You can support us for, $5 a month. You get access to all the great shows and content we got on there, including every single week. You get an extra big sloppy scoop of this podcast. So if this episode, didn't scratch that itch all the way and you're like, God, I wish there was 15 to 30 minutes more of this episode, you're in luck.
It's right on the Patreon.
Right now.
And with that, Luke, end it with a high-end edit that took you exactly, time yourself, 2 minutes. And whatever you don't finish within that 2 minutes stays unfinished. Thank you.
He nutted me, dude. So, how am I, I don't know how to feel about that.
Technically, you were covered in your father's nut.
I was within the fluid.
By other nuts.
I was. Technically, I was a single.
Well, you didn't exist until, they
I was a single
connected.
reproductive cell of my father.